How to build discipline, the systems and habits that actually work. In 2026, discipline has become one of the rarest competitive advantages in modern life. Most people are surrounded by distractions powerful enough to destroy focus within minutes. Notifications, endless scrolling, artificial intelligence overload, streaming platforms, and constant digital stimulation have created a world where attention is continuously fragmented. Yet despite this environment, some people still manage to stay focused, healthy, productive, and financially successful year after year. The difference is rarely motivation. It is systems. The most disciplined people do not rely on emotional energy to succeed. They create structures that make consistency easier and excuses harder. Research from the American Psychological Association continues to show that habits and environmental design strongly influence behavioral consistency, often more than willpower alone. Meanwhile, productivity researchers increasingly argue that discipline is less about personality and more about repeatable systems that reduce decision fatigue. In other words, discipline is built, not inherited. Why motivation is not enough. One of the biggest myths surrounding success is the idea that highly disciplined people always feel motivated. They do not. Even elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and top performers experience resistance, fatigue, and doubt. The difference is that they continue anyway because their systems remove negotiation from the process. A disciplined person does not wake up asking, "Do I feel like exercising today?" The workout is already scheduled. The decision has already been made. That matters because modern neuroscience increasingly shows that repeated routines reduce cognitive load and conserve mental energy for more important decisions. The goal is not to think more. The goal is to automate positive behaviors. The power of systems. A system is a structure that produces a predictable result. If your goal is fitness, the system may include exercising every morning at 7 a.m., preparing gym clothes the night before, tracking workouts weekly, removing unhealthy food from the house. If your goal is financial success, the system may include dedicated sales hours, automatic investing, fixed deep work sessions, weekly performance reviews, daily prospecting. Target systems remove dependence on mood. This is one reason many successful companies obsess over process. Organizations like Google and Amazon are known for creating operational systems designed to improve consistency, efficiency, and decision-making at scale. The same principle applies to personal performance. Habits create identity. One of the most underestimated truths about discipline is that habits shape identity. Every repeated action becomes evidence of who you believe you are. When you consistently train, you begin to see yourself as healthy. When you consistently write, you begin to see yourself as a writer. When you consistently sell, lead, or create, confidence gradually increases. Small actions repeated over time create powerful psychological reinforcement. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Most people fail because they attempt radical transformation for a few days before returning to old behaviors. Sustainable discipline is built through repetition, not dramatic emotional bursts. How to build discipline in real life. Start smaller than you think. Most people make discipline too difficult at the beginning. Instead of aiming for 2-hour workouts, start with 20 minutes. Instead of writing a book immediately, write 1 page per day. The objective is not perfection. The objective is consistency. Tiny wins create momentum. Remove friction. Make positive habits easier and negative habits harder. Want to exercise more? Prepare your clothes in advance. Want to stop scrolling? Delete addictive apps from your phone. Want to read more? Leave books visible around your home. Environment often beats intention. Track your behavior. What gets measured improves. Track workouts. Track sales calls. Track sleep. Track deep work hours. Discipline becomes more tangible when progress is visible. Build morning and evening rituals. High performers often protect the first and last hour of the day carefully. Morning routines create direction. Evening routines improve recovery and clarity. This does not need to be complicated. Exercise, journaling, meditation, planning priorities, reading, reflection, simple rituals repeated consistently create emotional stability and focus. Stop restarting. This may be the most important lesson of all. Most people are trapped in cycles of stopping and restarting. Start gym, stop gym, start business, lose momentum, restart again. Successful people keep going even after imperfect days. Missing once is human. Quitting completely is what destroys progress. Discipline is freedom. Many people view discipline as restrictive. In reality, the opposite is often true. Discipline creates freedom. Financial freedom, physical health, emotional control, stronger relationships, greater confidence, long-term stability. Without discipline, people become controlled by mood, distraction, and impulse. With discipline, life becomes more intentional. And in a distracted world, intentional people will continue to outperform everyone else. The future will not belong to the most talented people. It will belong to the people capable of staying focused long enough to compound their efforts over time.